Hi, it's almost Christmas time, and my grandsons would like to get some equipment to help them on their rock climbing experiences. Uh, One of them wanted a pad that they could fall on from their boulder climbing, and they're both interested in these things called fingerboards. So today I'm going to try and show you a simple way to make one of these. Um, and I'm guessing a lot of you that are into climbing maybe aren't also into woodworking, so this is going to be a little bit easier. The idea of this fingerboard is it's placed above a doorway. It's attached to the wall itself, hopefully hitting the studs. And within this board is an array of holes and gaps that you grip your fingers to do exercises for rock climbing. I was able to go online and get a lot of different patterns, and we're going to go through these, but you can see this one even tells you the depth in millimeters for the different openings you have there. Here's another design, and finally another one that has some pegs coming out. What I'm going to do is make this a little simpler. Of course, you could take a router and you could cut these grooves out, but for some of you that don't have a router or know how to use one, we're going to use a drill press, and you could probably use a hand drill, and I'm going to use a Forstner bit. I don't know if you can see that, but what's lovely about these is they drill a nice clean hole, and they only have a little tip sticking out on the bottom. And if you drill the holes correctly, one next to the other, you will get a slot rather than a series of holes, and that's what we're going to shoot for. So in this video, I'm going to take and I'm going to lay out a pattern just with some paper I cut, and then we're going to use that pattern for each subsequent board that we make. If you're making one of these, it's advisable to make a second one or a third one at the same time, because the setups is what takes a long time. And once you've set it up once, you can go ahead and make a second and third and either give it away or sell it, or if you mess up on the first one, you have a backup that you can use. So join me if you'd like to try and see how to make one of these. You can see I've cut the paper to the exact width of the board, and on the back side I've put some blue tape to connect them. Then when I come to the other length, I just take a file and rub along the edge, and that becomes pretty exacting paper cutter. So I can take this and flip it over. Now I have my pattern that's the exact size of this board that I can fool around with. You know that old saying, the best made plans of mice and men often go astray? Well, the plans I just showed you just didn't seem to work. I started using a Forstner bit, and I went in numerous times, but what I ended up with, no matter how close I placed them, was kind of a wiggle. And this wiggle had a lot of sharp edges that I had to chisel out. I just thought that isn't going to work. Then I put my router down here and drug it, but I didn't have a really good fence set up, and I knew I couldn't be consistent with this. You can see I've drilled some large holes with Forstner bits, and I'll show you what I did with those. But what I ended up doing is cutting grooves in my board on the table saw. I flipped it over on the table saw and made multiple cuts to get that groove in there. Let me show you a little bit closer. When I determined how deep I wanted my cut to be into this piece of wood, then I would set the depth. I could raise and lower this and set it so I would get the proper depth of cut. And you can see I wanted to notch out a 3/4 inch piece here, so I could take that 3/4 inch piece and line it up with the fence and cut my groove straight across the bottom. And then I could come over here. Let me get you a little bit closer. And fortunately, I have a really nice setting on this table saw. Let me zoom this in a little bit. And you can see right here, I have a setting And I know my blade is about 1/8 of an inch wide, the cut of it. So then I can just take that and scoot it over at one little increment at a time. I can scoot it. You can see right here, I can scoot it a teeny bit, cut, make another cut, and a little bit more, make another cut, and another, until I've got my 3/4 inch slot cut out. And that was perfect for the finger hole. So a lot of change in plans, but let me show you what I ended up with. I started with this one board, and this is 1.5 inch thickness of material. And then when I got into it, I found, oh boy, I don't know if this is going to support the weight of my grandsons when they're hanging from this. So here's what I did. I took the extra piece of wood and split it, and then I glued it on top of this piece so I could make these cuts in here. And I had a devil of a time. How am I going to make these grooves in here? And for me, the easiest way is I took this piece of wood and I split it once, twice, then I cut little sections out, and then I glued and screwed it back together. You can see I have screws going in here, and these screws kind of pulled it all together, and I got a nice bonding there. And then I took that table saw I showed you in the last cut, and I cut out this groove with multiple cuts. And then to kind of finish it off, you can see I did it in here. I cut a 3/4 inch real thin piece of material and put it in there, so I got a nice smooth bottom. Now, in doing this, I still thought it might be too risky because this isn't a lot of material. When you cut this groove off, this could snap off. So then I got another 3/4 inch piece of material, and you can see I glued it on the back side, screwed and glued together so it becomes one piece. So this is a pretty hefty piece of wood. Now, what do we have when we're done? We have a number of finger holes. We have these larger, these are 1 7/8 inches. And so you could, with strength, hold on to these. And I guess there are people that do one finger holds. My finger will fit in these, and you could do a 1 finger hold there possibly. This is a deeper hole, you can grab into there. This is a long groove, you can grab into there. You can grab with one hand here and one over here, or just one hand. This is a little bit smaller, maybe 3 fingers, 4 fingers here. And then on the top, I made a cut where this is round and it is at an angle, and then it goes over so you can wrap your fingers over. And then the center section, I have a slope here, and I left it rough so you could actually hold on maybe with that because you need that strength. And if you have to, you can support it with a thumb right there. So you got a number of different holds. You got these 4 finger holds, 3 finger holds, these smaller, maybe 2 finger, 1 finger hold. And then on top of that, my grandson said he'd like to have something in the way of a peg. So I made these so he could take and put this peg in here and hold on with one hand and maybe another hand here. Or he pull this out and use the 3/4 inch. These are solid oak, so they're pretty strong, and these go down. As the air gets more humid, I notice these get really tight, so I might have to sand them down a bit. But anyway, you can see you could hold on to that, and you can hold on to something like that if you wanted to. And then the one up above here, I have actually 2 of these larger holes that you could hold on to, and then 2 of these smaller ones that you could hold on to. So I don't know anything about bouldering and building up strength, but there's a number of different possibilities on this. It's a little bit on the heavy side, and I'm going to suggest to him 2 things. He could drill his holes in this slot here and connect it hopefully right into studs in the wall. And if not, I'm going to put down below this video, if you look down below in the description area, I'm going to put a video that another person made where you can add some hardware on the back and attach this whole setup to one of those portable chin-up things that you use in doorways when there's no attachment actually to the wall or the door jamb at all. So have fun. I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you the construction the entire way, but it was like try one thing and another, a lot of experimentation, but this seemed to come out to where it's a usable thing for my grandsons, and I think they'll enjoy it. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed watching this, and let me know what you think below if this would be useful for strengthening fingers for rock climbers, or is it just a mess? Thanks a lot for watching.